Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Sam Hossack Media Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Juice Plus, a line of whole food products to bridge the gap between what you eat and what you should eat. Juice Plus, the next best thing to fruits and vegetables. For more information, please contact independent distributor Shelly Hossack. And now, without further ado, would like to welcome today's guest to the show. He is a former superstar with the Barrie Junior Colts AAA organization, has played in the CCHL and the OJHL, where he won a championship and a Dudley Hewitt Cup, and is now a freshman at sunny Oswego. Please welcome Jackson Arcan.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
For sure, and we'll get right into things here. That minor midget year, playing with guys like Morgan Frost, Macaulay Carson, and Tyler Burney, you guys were kind of a powerhouse in that minor midget loop. So just talk about that year and how much success you guys had.
Yeah, it was a really, really strong team, especially throughout the regular season. As you know, we kind of lost her there in the first round to North Central there, the underdogs. They came out to play, but playing with guys like Macaulay Frost and Burney kind of, makes you want to push yourself to be better. They were kind of guys you want to model your after and kind of, it's all about that inner competition. You kind of want to beat them and play on their line. So having guys like that kind of pushed me towards, staying more serious in the minor midget year.
For sure. And then going from minor midget, you made the jump to junior the next year there. And we're playing with the Alliston Hornets, who are a provincial junior hockey league team. Obviously, being a kid from Thornton, which is right by Alliston, talk about how special your first year playing junior close to home was.
Yeah, that was really fun, especially having a NHLer coach like Darren Shannon had to be 16 years old and have him kind of show you the ropes. And that league you're able to play with, 21-year-olds instead of 20. So I got the chance to play with my oldest brother, Nick, which was, I think a lifetime experience. When you're 16, trying to make that jump to junior A, it's tough because they only got one card slot open. So you kind of got to figure out what's your best development. Either, go to junior C or play in the major midget loop. And for me, that was the best opportunity to play with, guys like Stefan Nosad and Devin Gillum and some other guys I made lifetime friendships with. So I can't thank them enough for that opportunity they gave me when I was such a young kid.
Now, the next year, playing in the Ontario Junior Hockey League with the Wellington Dukes, strong first year, and then I believe it was the second year you guys won the championship there. So just talk about your time in Wellington and winning the Buckland Cup and the Dudley Hewitt.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about the Wellington Dukes organization. I mean, they took me in when I was young, and they stuck with me for 2 years, and I was fortunate enough to be able to go on 2 good runs with them. And wow, what a season that was. I mean, I think we played, I think by the end of it, it was around 40, 46, 45 playoff games, something around there, which is crazy if you think about it. It's a half of more than half of another season. So, the kind of run we had was, it's unforgettable, and it all comes down to depth and guys figuring out their role to be able to win as a championship team. I'm pretty sure we had 4 guys come in from Chatham Maroons and one from, I forget where it was, but they were pretty good players. Josh Paprika, Bryce Yetman, Nick Pucci, and Barbo. So they gave us another full lineup of 20-year-olds in the top D, which made us get by the Newmarket Hurricanes in the second round, and we pretty well sailed through the rest.
Now, a guy you played with that has been a guest on our show already, Creed Jones. He told me to ask you about Scoop's push-up blocks from your time in Wellington.
Scoops, yeah. Yeah, those were things that I did not like to take part in. After every practice, we were doing, like, I can't remember. It was, he would have these sticks taped up on push-up blocks, and he would make you go down from like 100. And everybody just hated it, just having to run around the rink and, kind of just, you're already on the ice every day. I'm the type of guy, I got to be in the gym more kind of thing. So Creed knows I'm not the type of guy that likes to do 100 push-ups after practice. So that's just one way that he got us all to come together, though, and that's what made us the group we were that year on the post. Sorry about that.
Now, after playing in Wellington, you headed to the Navan grads of the CCHL, 2 years there, and were the captain there last season. Just take us through your time there.
Well, first off, when I made the switch from the OJHL to the CCHL is a little bit different, just due to the reason being that the teams are so much more compact in the CC. There's only 12, and Navan was never really a top of the tier league. You know what I mean? They were never really at the top. So coming into a bottom league team, every game was a battle. It wasn't like playing with the Dukes where you would go into some games and you were able to win 6 or 7-1. So, and there's I think there's 6 or 7 more games. I think you play 62 rather than 56. So it's a more of a span, less teams. So every night's a battle. I mean, it's a really good league to play in. It's really good for your development. I was under Marty Abrams and Ryan Woodward there, and they're top-notch coaches. They're able to get me to where I am today in Oswego, and playing out there had a big impact on my development as a player, just coming in from a rookie in the OJ to someone that was playing major minutes in the CCHL. So it was good. Honestly, I would recommend that league to anybody that wants to go there as a young player or old player to try to develop.
For sure, and just take us through how the process of getting to Oswego went for you from the CCHL there with Navan.
Well, I kind of talked to Oswego throughout my whole junior career. They were kind of watching me since I was 18 years old in Wellington. I talked to them at the Buffalo Showcase there at Hossack. I was obviously everyone's goal is to try to make that Division I jump. So throughout last year, I was not holding off on them, but I kind of made the commitment verbally saying if I go to Division III, I'll go there, come to you guys, and I wasn't able to get any looks or interest at the Division I level. So my coach Ryan Woodward was the captain here at Oswego State and won a national championship here. So he had a major impact on me coming here, and the school really fits my personality, and it's all about the experience you have for that 4 years. You want to go somewhere where you're gonna say when you're 45 years old that was the best time of your life. So when I came to visit here, it was kind of a no-brainer for me, and I fell in love with the atmosphere, the staff, and just the school in general.
For sure, and another one of your good buddies who you play with in minor midget was Noah Rowland, and he told me to ask you what it was like playing in front of thousands of screaming fans in Navan, and he kind of threw out a joke that there was about 50 fans a game when they would play there.
Oh yeah, that's funny. The only fans that were there were probably the few parents and the couple arena staff, but it was more. It's like playing like nowadays with no fans due to COVID. You kind of gotta, if there's no fans, you gotta bring that energy throughout your teammates and, do what you can to try to get that energy up and that momentum going.
For sure. Now, obviously, this year, COVID hitting, you weren't at Oswego to start the season because the season was a little bit delayed. And you came back at one point and were playing with the Bradford Bulls for 2 games. So just talk about joining the Bulls and how that whole experience went during COVID.
Yeah, it's a crazy world we live in right now. So I was kind of looking around for some ice time as we weren't able to practice here. And one of my older brother's good friends, Curtis Warren, is the coach. And, he's got a really good background and experience with hockey and pro hockey and connections in general. And he made it worth my while to come and play for them, and the way that they practice and development their players in that GMHL league was really eye-opening for me. coming in. I was very surprised. It was very, professional, especially with the way that things had to be done. I only had a small stint there, but yeah, like I said, I was really surprised with how they handle everything in that league and the players with the Bradford Rattlers there. That was a pretty good 2 games going both the shootouts. And yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about that league. It was very fun while we're able to play together.
Now, as you're back down in Oswego now, how's life down there? What's the COVID protocols for you guys? I know you guys are practicing down there, so what's life in hockey right now down there?
Uh, it's a little different down here. I came down a little early just due to the fact that there's more stuff open down here. There's restaurants and stuff. You can go out and do things, go shop if you want. But we start to practice on the 1st of February, so we're not practicing stuff yet. But all the guys are starting to roll in, and it's nice to see your teammates and from the break. And I was never home for over longer, like 2.5 weeks. So being home for a month and a half it's a long time to be away from your teammates. So life down here is just stay in the gym, try to eat right, try to budget, not stay off the beverages. So, but yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I love it down here.
Now, are you the only Canadian on the team, or do you have some buddies or anything down there with you?
No, our team is majority Canadian. I'd say it's about 60% Canadian. I live with one of my best buddies I played in with Navin was Tristan Francis. I played with him for 2 years. So we committed together, and he gets down here and tomorrow, I think. So it'll be nice to see him and a friendly face, and yeah, it's nice.
For sure. And NHL hockey came back a couple weeks ago. So, who's your go-to team, and how excited are you for the Canadian division?
Yeah, obviously being close to Toronto, I gotta say, like I always got the Leafs on. I always try to, but honestly, I hate watching them. So right now, I feel like that Vegas Golden Knights team is buzzing around out there with Pacioretty and Stoner. So they got some good chemistry. They look like they're clicking out there this year. I like to watch them. But yeah, it's nice to have it back. I can't wait for that Calgary Alberta matchup to have them back to back and get to see Kachuk and Cassian go at it again.
For sure. And we'll have a little bit of fun here. So, who's the best and worst trooper you have ever played with?
Best and worst chirper I've ever played with. Are you going from like doesn't matter like
Doesn't
on
matter.
team or off team? Um, I always like to consider myself as a good trash talker, but I'd say on my team, my 17-year-old year, Brody Morris, he was a 20-year-old year. He was probably one of the best trash talkers I could think of. He always had, whatever you had to say to him, he always had something funny to say back to. And the worst I'd probably say is Alec Tilley. He always had something funny to say, but never really ever made sense. So I'd say he's probably the worst one.
Best and worst road trip in the CCHL.
In the CC, there's not many road trips because a lot of the games are within an hour away, so we drive to most of them. So I'd probably say the best one is Pembroke, just because that's the longest one. It's about 2.5 hours, so you get to do all that fun stuff with rookies and your buddies on the way there or on the way back, hopefully after a win. And the worst one I'd probably say would be Carleton Place Canadians, because they're just a hard team to play, man. And in their barn, it seems like that their whole team and staff controls that rink, like from the fans to the refs to just the whole game. It feels like everything's going their way. So that's a really hard battle going in there.
And now a guy you would have faced with your time in the van was Devin Levi, the goaltender for the Canadian national junior team for the World Juniors this year. So not sure how many times you had to face him, but how tough was it in those games when you guys were up against him?
Yeah, I think we only played him maybe once or twice. I think they had their backup in probably when they're playing us, but no, I remember playing against him and having a hard time getting the puck by him. He's a top-notch tender. I'm pretty sure he's at Northeastern right now, and you know that's what that team does, man. They get young prospects and they develop them, and they I don't know what their track record looks like, but they always seem to have a 6 or 71 commits. I mean, he was a top notch tendy. He was tough to get by. Wasn't he the CJHL Player of the Year, MVP the year or something?
I believe so, yeah. And
Yeah.
one of the years he was in Carlton Place.
Yeah.
And now a couple of the guys that you played minor midget with, Morgan Frost and Macaulay Carson, obviously both highly talented players. Two of your good buddies, I'm pretty sure. So just talk about the friendship you guys have there and how excited you are to see the success they're having. Morgan Frost cracking their Flyers lineup this year, and then Macaulay out at the University of New Brunswick.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, those guys' careers have been outstanding. I think Macaulay. I think he has the regular season games set like all time as a Sudbury Wolves player and being the captain there. I'm so happy for him and going out east. That hockey out there or west, it's just unbelievable. I couldn't be more happy for him, and you know, just being on two different teams and being in two different spots, it's hard to connect. But there's always that friendship when you do get to see each other at Christmas time, and you know the jokes that you get to laugh about. And Frosty, it's a little tougher, you know, being that show big dog he is. He's always got something going on. So I chat with him over Snapchat and stuff, but he's from Aurora, so I don't think I've seen him since Boots and Hearts like 2017. So yeah, it's tough to get, especially nowadays. You know, with COVID, it's tough to reach out and see the people that you want to see and stuff. But no, I love those guys to death, and I'm happy I got to play with them as long as I was able to.
Absolutely. And over the years, who are some of your good buddies that you still keep in contact with from the teams you've played on?
Oh, geez. Well, right down to Barry. I mean, Frosty, Bernie, Matt Waliko, Macaulay Carson. I talked to Roland here and there. We kind of live near each other. Um, Brady Martin from Alliston Hornets. Devin Gillum, my older brother. From Wellington, a lot of them. I mean, Brody Morris. Connor Rickman was my vet. Um, Nick Mucci, Braden Storts. These are all guys. Alec Tilley, Brett Thorne. Uh, there's so many to count. Even to Navin, you go up to uh, Murray, Tristan Francis. Trying to give all the shout outs I can here. I mean, I'm kind of a real not a clown in the dressing room, but I'm not a shy guy. So I tons of guys, man. Shout out to Orpy, Alec Levisak, tons of guys. Putting me on the spot here, Hossie.
Favorite memory or funniest story you've ever experienced in junior hockey?
Oh my gosh. Uh, Man, to even think about it, I would just probably just my favorite memory is probably Joey Lavender. Um, After every game we won in Wellington, he's obsessed with the WWE and Ronda Rousey and John Cena. So after every game we won, it wasn't even like we had a win song or anything. He was our win song. We put on that John Cena song, and he would come in and he would put his hands up and he'd take his shirt off and throw it around his head, and he would pick somebody he likes. And he was definitely my favorite, my funniest and best memory of all time. I will never forget that guy.
Absolutely. And now that you've kind of wrapped up your junior career, for the younger kids that are going into junior, what's some advice you would give to those kids?
Um, just a few things. Just always practice hard. If you're not getting a lot of ice time, don't be pouty. That never helps anybody. I've learned from experience. Know your role for sure. That's pretty well the same thing. If he wants you, if he wants you to be a fourth line guy, or first line guy, just be there. Be a good team guy. If there's any ups and downs, just push through it all. There's tons of years of hockey, and like just push through it. It's a grind. It's so many games, so many practices. There's going to be, you're dealing with, you're living away from home. You're dealing with a girlfriend from back home. Just remember that this is the best time of your life, and I just want to go back. And everyone says that when you're older, that you're going to say you just want to go back, but you never realize it till it's gone. So just enjoy the time, enjoy the moment, and do the best you can.
For sure. This interview of the Sam Hossack Media podcast was brought to you by Juice Plus, a line of whole food products to bridge the gap between what you eat and what you should eat. Juice Plus, the next best thing to fruits and vegetables. For more information, please contact independent distributor Shelly Hossack. Thank you again to Jackson Arcan for hopping on here. It's a pleasure as always, buddy, and we wish you the best of luck if you get going down there at Oswego.
Thanks, Hossie. Thanks for having me. Best of luck to you in Ottawa.
Thank you.
All right. See you later.